The FIRE strategy is dead. Here's what actually pays you to retire early. Yo, what's going on, Premium Chasers? I hope you're having a God blessed day. Today, every single person that comments is going to get my 5 income streams that I'm using to retire early. If you want that full ebook guide, just drop a comment. I will personally respond to every single one of you with that guide. And while you're down there, hit like, hit subscribe. Today, it's going out to the FIRE fam out there, guys. Listen, we ain't talking about the festival, all right? So today goes out to those of you that want financial independence, you want to retire early, but you ain't going to be skipping your Starbucks, bro. You don't want to skip date night with your wife. You don't want to ruin your entire life pinching pennies. Now, listen, I'm all for, getting out of debt, obviously paying off your high interest credit cards, doing all of that stuff. But at the same time, it's not about, right, cutting your life to crap and enjoying it when you're like 50, 60 plus. It's about enjoying your life sooner, right? And how do we do that? Simple. We make more money. Okay. And in today's video, that's what I'm going to show you how to do. I'm going to show you how you could potentially leverage the portfolio that you already have to actually start creating an actual tangible income for you, not paper gains. If this market has shown us anything, right, look how many billions and trillions have been wiped out of people's retirements, 401ks, and all that. Guess what me and my crew were doing? We were making money, regardless if the market's going up, down, sideways. Listen, this strategy isn't about living off 4% of your money, right? It's about creating a weekly or monthly income for yourself. Listen, I'm not trying to hype it up. This thing changed my life 7 years ago when I learned it, and is my God-given mission right now to spread this to as many people that will listen. So if you enjoy this and I provide value for you, hit that like button. Let's go. So first thing and foremost, we need to talk about budgets, right? What kind of budget you have, right? Some of you might be starting with 5, some of you might be starting with $1 million already. So I'm just going to kind of go run of the mill common stock right now. And we're just going to go with Arista, or with not Arista, NVIDIA, right? A lot of people are trading that. That's one of our biggest winners in our communities and our groups. And I think it's around $100, so around $10,000 to trade it, like you're going to see. And I think most of you that are doing FIRE, you got like $10,000. All right. So first thing we want to do is we want to go over to Robinhood. Now I'm just going to show you what the strategy actually looks like, and we're going to hammer it home. What this strategy high level entails, right, is turning a portion of your portfolio into an income producing asset, I'm talking real income that you can use. Okay. And then having a portion of your portfolio, which you probably already do with like the Vanguard stuff, keep that. I'm not telling you to trade your ETFs, buy and hold ETFs. Buying and holding stocks is a losing game. Let's go look over NVIDIA for the past year. If you held it from last year, it was trading around $90. Today it's trading at $104. You did absolutely nothing. You can go look at SPY. You go look at so many, any company, and look at over the past year, even 5 years, right? You wouldn't have really made much money. What we're actually doing is we're making money along the way on a weekly and monthly basis. Let me just kind of show you this thing in action. So let's go over to trade NVIDIA options. I'm going to click sell a put, and I'm just going to go out about a week. I'm going to go 8 days out for about a week. All right. This is called an options chain. Listen, I know you've probably had terrible experience with options, but I'm going to show you the better way to do it. We're not gambling here. We are the house taking the desperate people's poker chips who can't afford to do this. Okay. So NVIDIA is trading at 104. In 8 days from now, I can say I'm willing to buy it for $100. If NVIDIA hits $100, right, in 8 days, I'm willing to buy 100 shares. So let's take a look at what that looks like, right? We would collect $145 of premium for saying that. So I'm going to go to my calculator here. All my calculators, everything is here, is free on the channel, unless you want one-on-one time. All these are in our Facebook group. So join us. It's a vibe, man. Yesterday was crazy in our Facebook group. I should pull it up. Dude, literally every like 30 minutes, somebody was posting the premiums they were collecting. It's a blessing to be able to share this with you guys. Truly, truly, truly. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So we're collecting $146 here on that. All right. Now our collateral, right? Because we're saying we're going to buy it 100 shares. Your brokerage needs to know that you can pay up, whether with margin, whether with cash. So 100 times 100 is $10,000, right? So we're essentially putting up $10,000 as collateral if it drops to 100 to buy 100 shares. So our return on that in a single month or in a single 8-day period, about a week, is 1.46% on your money in 1 week. Annualized, that's a 66% return. Now, listen, reasonable expectations. I'm not one of these guys here on YouTube saying that you're going to be collecting 60% a year on your portfolio. Listen, I respect you. You're an investor. You're giving me your most valuable asset right now, your time, right? So I want to set reasonable expectations for you. Now, is there a shot in hell that you can actually attain an annual return of 66% with this trade? If you're able to pull it off 45 times in a year, yeah, you will. Most likely, that's not going to happen. I'm going to show you exactly why. But we are collecting about 1.46% this week on that, okay? Now, if we have to buy these shares at 100, what we then can do is do something called a covered call. You know how we used our $10,000 to buy the shares? Well, our $10,000 is gone. Let's say it's gone. It hits 100. We have to buy it, right? Then we can use our shares as collateral instead. So what we will then do is now the following week comes along, we now want to sell a call. Now our 100 shares are the collateral, not our actual money. So we bought them at 100, and let's say you're willing to sell them at 106, right? The following week, right? We'll click that. And you're going to collect $282 of income up front. This is upfront. This is actual real money, tangible, not paper gains, not some BS number on a screen. This is real money. You can go to deposit into your checking account, go buy groceries with it, whatever the hell you want to do. Okay, so you're collecting $282. So let's go into our covered call calculator. All right, we're collecting $282. Our strike of the option that we're willing to sell for is $106. Right? We bought our shares for $100. Right? So let's take a look at what those numbers look like. Now we're getting a much juicier premium return of 2.82. What that premium return basically is, it's your $10,000 essentially divided by the premium, right? So 100 times 100 is 10,000, that original $10,000 you put up, and you collect and dividing that premium, giving you a 2.82% return, right? In another single week, right? Profit on the shares. If you sell your shares, if it actually hits 106, you will sell them and make a profit of $600 for a total profit of $882, right? Plus your 146 that you collected when you got assigned to buy those 100 shares for a total sum of $1,028 in 2 weeks. Those are best case scenarios. Those are best case scenarios. That doesn't always necessarily happen, okay? This is something called the wheel strategy, okay? And this is what it looks like. When I just showed you we're selling a put, that means we're willing to buy 100 shares of a stock, right? Well, we have to wait those 8 days to see if we actually bought it, right? Most of the time, you're not ending up buying those shares. That $100 that I showed you right here where we were selling a put, let me go back here real quick. This $100, most of the time, that's not going to happen, and you just walk away with a premium, okay? And your 8 days will go by. If you didn't get assigned, you didn't have to buy your stock, your collateral will be released to you, your $10,000, and you could sell another put on the same company, on a different company, on another opportunity that you see elsewhere. Right? Eventually, you want to get assigned though, right? Why do you eventually want to get assigned? Because you want to have those 100 shares, because then you could do the covered sell calls and then again, run that 8 days later. Were you assigned? No, sell another one. And eventually you'll sell your shares and make a profit. So eventually, I'm not going to say it never happens that all legs in a 2-week period, this doesn't happen, especially in a market like we're in right now. Yes, this can happen where you would actually buy your shares in 8 days and then sell your shares the following week, and you'd make $1,000 in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you would have basically made 10% on your $10,000. Now, again, it doesn't always happen, but eventually, as long as it's a stock you believe in, you will end up selling those shares. So how do we know when to do this? Okay. Well, there are technical indicators. I'm not necessarily going to go into all of the technical analysis in this video. I have a ton of videos on this channel as well as resources in the description for you guys to go into that. But as a rule of thumb, we want to stick to around a 20% chance of us having to buy or sell. The way we do that, for example, if we're wanting to buy those 100 shares in 8 days, this 100 right here, you could see this delta is 0.26. This basically means there's a 26% chance that I will end up having to buy those shares. However, there's about a 75% chance that nothing happens. The option expires worthless. My $10,000 isn't locked up anymore, and I can run the play again in 8 days on another company. Those are the odds I like to go for. Those are the odds. Now, we're not gambling here because we're focusing on companies that we actually love, companies that we actually want to buy. And the worst case scenario, right, is that, let's say you're selling your put here, right? And we'll talk through all the risks on both sides here because I think it's important for you to have that and educate yourself on this, right? Let's say in 8 days, NVIDIA, something crazy happens. Something crazy, right? Like bad news, terrible earnings. The sentiment is terrible. It drops to 95. It drops to 90. It drops to $1. You're buying those shares at $100. That's a risk you need to take. That's why I always recommend do this strategy on stocks you believe in. Do I think NVIDIA, me personally, think NVIDIA is going to go bankrupt in 8 days? No. I think it's one of the most valuable companies in the world to stand to gain the most with AI, robotics, quantum computing, you name it. It's one of the most valuable companies. All right. So I don't see that ever happening, really. Okay. So that's for me the biggest risk. That is the biggest risk. But with that said, you're still getting it better than the current market value. Most of you go out there and just buy your stock like normal retail investors. They open up their brokerage account, they see the price is 104, and they just buy their shares like that. No, this is how you get paid to buy a stock at a better discount and get paid up front. This, $150 that we're collecting in this premium, that's essentially lowering your cost basis on the stock too, unless you take the money out and then go spend it. I recommend obviously use this income to continue to add fuel to the fire. But a lot of people do this to retire early. They use this income. If you have a $100,000 portfolio, you can use this to retire early. Let me show you one more thing real quick. Eventually, when you have I believe the magic number is $250,000. All right, $250,000. If you have $250,000, I believe you can create a decent income for yourself with this strategy and get paid very well. Okay, now that's relative. I don't know you. I don't know what you're buying. You got the Lambo in the yard. I can't help you, bro. Right? So listen, I traded in the G-Wagon for a minivan, bro. Like I know the pain. Right? So we're going to go to SPY. When you can get to the point that you can trade SPY weekly and confidently, I believe that this is the best ETF to trade and do this strategy on. Why? Let me show you why. It's expensive, right? Let's say we're going to sell a put and we're going to go out 7 days. All right, we'll go out exactly a week. This is called running weeklies on SPY. This is a little bit more of an advanced strategy, but I'm showing you guys here real quick. So it's currently trading at 542. In 7 days, what are you willing to buy it for, right? That's a decision you need to make. I like to be around those 20 deltas, right? So let's see these 530s. That's still a little aggressive. Let's look at these 530s. Perfect. So that's a 27 delta, about a 27% chance that it will hit there, about 75 that it doesn't. And I'm going to collect $400 of premium on that, right? So let me put in 400, just easy numbers here. 400, but I'm putting up $53,000, right? Because $530 per share times 100. Now, right, how many contracts can you do, right? Let's say you do 5 contracts, right? Let me put 5 here. It's around a little 265,000. You're now collecting $2,000 in one single week in collateral. $8,000 a month if you're able to do it every single month. If you get assigned, that's perfect. The following week, you can sell the covered call and collect appreciation sale on that as well. But that's why I believe with around $250,000, you can generate a very nice income for yourself using this strategy. Now, you could be more aggressive. Why do I like SPY? Well, because it's an ETF that has always hit all-time highs. That's not me just talking on my butt. It has always hit all-time highs. It has it's self-cleansing. It's already diversified. Right? So eventually you want to get to the point. Now you can, once you have, you're doing your SPY stuff, right? Then obviously, you can go check out some more riskier stuff and still mess around to really get the juicier premiums, of course. But this is the one that a lot of us use to really create an early retirement for ourselves. Don't forget, guys, drop a comment. I'm going to show you my 5 favorite ways and income streams to use during retirement. This is perfect for those of you that are these FIRE investors that are focused on saving instead of making more money. I promise you guys, you make that one mindset shift in your life. I'm fortunate enough to have made it very early in my life. It is easier to make more money than save money. I don't understand why this is so difficult to understand. You guys are pinching pennies. You're canceling your Netflix subscription. What are you doing? I'm not making fun of you. I'm just truly think about that. You're saving $7 or $20 a month on a Netflix subscription. you can go make $20 way easier than and have the comfort of like watching Netflix. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are focused on the wrong things. And I respect it, because you obviously want to create a better life for yourself. You want to retire early and enjoy this life, but you can enjoy life right now. You don't need to go and save millions of dollars to then live off 4% interest that you make on it. Even at 4% interest on $1 million, what are you doing? You're still pinching pennies, bro. Like, you're making $40,000 a year, right? And you got taxes to hit on top of that. So you're making like what, $25,000? I don't know about you guys, but that's not how I plan to retire. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to drop a comment for that retirement early guide, 5 strategies to make income to retire earlier. While you're down there, hit subscribe, hit that like button. And of course, remember, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.